So today's video, we're going to be talking about what your bunny can and cannot eat. I'm filming in my fish room today. So I've got some notes written down because it's hard to remember off the top of your head. So the first thing I have to say is a number of foods can disrupt a bunny's digestive system and is harmful to their health. Some foods are actually toxic, so you do have to be very, very careful what you feed your bunny. Unlike other animals, they cannot regurgitate. So when something disagrees with us or with a dog or with a cat, they vomit. Rabbits cannot do this, so it is especially important that we don't give them anything that can make them sick, because when they're sick, it can be a lot more serious. So first off, I'm going to go through the list of don'ts, and then I will actually go through why for those don'ts. So first off, you don't want to feed yogurt drops, bread, pasta, cookies, crackers, avocado, cereal, hamster food, walnuts, oatmeal, chocolate, peanut butter, potatoes, rhubarb, meat, cauliflower, iceberg lettuce, chips, rice, seeds, and nuts. All of those are don'ts. No house plants. House plants can be toxic. Root veggies and fruits can be fed sparingly. They're high in sugar, so even if they're safe for them, you want to be very careful of the amount you give, because then that can cause watery stool, things like that. And it's high in sugar, and they don't need that, just like we don't need that. So those are your don'ts, and here are, starting from the top of the list again, these are the things that can happen with these foods to your bunny. Yogurt drops. Now, you will find these in the pet store, and many times they will have a picture of a rabbit on the package, because they're marketing them as rabbit treats as well as gerbils and hamsters and things like that. Yogurt drops are a no-no though. May contribute to lethal cases of enterotoxemia. It's a toxic overgrowth of bad bacteria in the intestinal tract. Choose a healthy alternative for treats. Now, again, that could be veggies, that could be occasional fruits, but no yogurt drops. They can't have dairy anyway, and yogurt is a dairy. So, bread, pasta, cookies, and crackers. These are high carb, sugary treats, and they'll only treat your bunny to stomach issues. Again, this can lead to enterotoxemia. So avoid all those and just feed the healthy alternatives, the veggies and the occasional fruits. And some veggies are still going to be occasional because they're high in certain things, like carrots are high in sugar. Those should be occasional treats. That's, the myth is that rabbits love carrots and all they eat is carrots. They may love carrots, but they shouldn't have them all the time because they are high in sugar. So, avocados. These should never be included in your bunny's diet. This fatty fruit can be deadly if ingested, so totally avoid avocados. Cereal can lead to tooth and tummy problems, so, just avoid it. Iceberg lettuce. You need to avoid light colored lettuce. Iceberg and any other lettuce that's light colored. It can contain lactocarium. I think I pronounced that right. And that's a chemical that can be harmful to your bunny. It also has high water content and will cause diarrhea. So you don't want to have that bad bacteria, and you don't want to give them the runs. And there's no nutritional value at all anyway. And when I feed my bunnies, I want to give them something healthy and nutritious. So there's no point in giving them something that's going to do them absolutely no good especially if there's going to be a chance of a bad bacteria entering their system and giving them watery stool. Silver beet. It's also referred to as chard. Just like iceberg lettuce, it's another leafy green to avoid. It can cause your bunny to suffer from colic and bloating and should be replaced with high fiber fruits, veggies, herbs, radishes, rosemary. Those are all great options instead of silver beet, or aka chard. We certainly don't want colic and bloating. Bloating will just cause a lot of discomfort for your bunny. It's just best to avoid those things altogether. Hamster food, you can't feed two birds with one stone. So if you've got a rabbit and you've got a hamster, they have different nutritional needs. Hamsters can eat seeds and pasta and things like that. Rabbits can't. So just because, and technically, a rabbit isn't even considered a rodent. So just because you have what you think are two rodents, they eat different things. So don't try and kill two birds with one stone just because you have both a rabbit and a hamster. Don't share foods. If the food that they're eating can be given to each of them safely, by all means, but don't assume that everything in a hamster's diet is good for a bunny and vice versa. Walnuts, they're high in fat, which can cause your rabbit uncomfortable indigestion, so don't even bother. Oatmeal, it won't cause much harm, but it also does nothing to boost their nutrition, so there's really no point. Chocolate is a big no. Just like with dogs, it's a big no. It's poisonous to them, toxic, will kill your bunny. Okay? Peanut butter. Peanut butter is high in fat and will cause tummy pain. It's a nut, just like a walnut. High in fat will cause tummy pain. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want our bunnies to be comfortable and happy. We don't want them in any pain. Potatoes, they're high in carbs and starch and will cause issues with the digestive system, and we don't want that. Anything that disrupts the digestive system can lead to GI stasis, and GI stasis can be fatal. So just avoid. Rhubarb, toxic, poisonous, leads to death. Don't. Meat, no. Rabbits are herbivores. They don't eat meat. They're not omnivores, they are herbivores. Wild and domestic bunnies don't eat meat. Leave it out of the diet. Just leave it out. Cauliflower causes rabbits to bloat and become gassy, again causing tummy discomfort. Don't even bother. So those are like a list of all the don'ts, and it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but at the same time you got a lot that you can feed your bunnies, so there should be no reason why you'd even consider feeding the other foods. What you can feed your bunny safely, and always in moderation, okay? Especially if they've never had it before, you want to make sure that their system is going to handle it okay. And a way that you can tell that is to keep an eye on their stool. So if their stool is very soft, if it's runny, cut back. And I've never had any issues with my bunnies. And when I did notice a little bit of soft stool, I did cut back on the veggies and the fruit. They rarely get fruit. They get fruit, like a piece of fruit, like once a week, if that. The rest of the time they'll get veggies, which is mostly leafy greens like romaine. They get bok choy. They get green peppers. That's the main staple that they get. But these, and then of course hay. Hay is their biggest staple, of course. But these are the things that are okay for bunnies, again, in moderation. Hay is 80% of their diet. So even if you never fed veggies, as long as they have hay, they're going to be fine. Because there are some times that I just can't get to the store to get them veggies, and they're just fine. They're eating the hay. But when I do get to the store, they get a cup for every 2 pounds of weight. So keep that in mind. Sometimes they even get less than that because their most important staple of their diet is hay anyway. So it's just the veggies are a supplement basically for my bunnies. But hay is number one. This is what they get. Alfalfa if they're 6 months and younger. Timothy or orchard grass when they're 6 months and older. Basil is okay. Bok choy, like I said, my bunnies eat bok choy. They love it. Broccoli leaves only. Stems and tops can make them gassy, so you can feed broccoli leaves. No stems and tops. Carrot tops, the green sprouts on the carrots, sparingly because they're high in calcium, whereas the carrot itself is high in sugar, so both can be fed just sparingly as a treat. Celery can be fed. Clover can be fed. Now I've read somewhere, this didn't specify, but I have also read somewhere that clover can cause gassiness. So again, feed clover sparingly is my suggestion. And only if you're feeding it from outside in your yard, which is what I did. I know that I don't treat my yard with chemicals, so then that's okay. And again, it was just as a treat. Same with dandelions. They can eat dandelions too. My bunnies love dandelions. But again, if you treat your yard with chemicals, pesticides and stuff, avoid that. Don't feed them anything out of your yard if your yard is treated. Collard greens are safe. Dandelion leaves are safe, as well as the dandelion flower. I've fed them that. They love it. When spring was rolled around and we had an explosion of dandelions, I went out there and picked all sorts of dandelion tops. They love it. They love it. Dill is good for them. Kale, sparingly. Romaine and other dark leaf lettuce, which is their favorite. I get a lot of the baby spring mix from the grocery store. They love that. Mint is safe. Mustard greens, parsley, watercress. Water, of course. They should never have anything else to drink other than water. And always available. Pellets in small amounts. Get the healthiest pellet you can. Avoid any party mixes or anything that's got colorful bits in it. That can lead to picky eating, where they will pick out the best parts and leave the good stuff. Like the stuff that's good for them, they will leave that, eat the crap first. So you want to avoid pellets like that. I use Oxbow pellets. When I do buy pellets, I rarely buy them. Because they really should only have like 1/8 of a cup a day, if that, because it is a supplement. It's higher in fat, so you can actually cause obesity in your bunny if you feed too many pellets. So I rarely give mine pellets, but when they do, they've got the healthy stuff. They get Oxbow. Strawberries are healthy, but again, sparingly. I actually had a nice big strawberry that I just cut in half, and I cut in half again. Each half I cut in half, and they got a piece of it. And again, I only do that once a week, and they love it. And because my bunnies are white, they had like pink lips, and love it. Pineapple is okay. Pineapple actually can help break down any hairballs that they have in their system. Years ago when I had a bunny, he did get hairballs a lot. I took him to the vet a couple times because he wasn't eating, and you want to avoid GI stasis. when he wasn't eating. Of course, he wasn't eating the pineapple either, but he was drinking water. So what I ended up doing was putting pineapple juice in the water, and the acidity in that, although in high contents can be, you know, not good for your rabbit, but the acidity in it helped break down the hairballs, and then he was fine. So raspberries, again, am I blurry? Raspberries sparingly. These are all fruits, so again, sparingly. I do once a week and not in large amounts at all in that week. Bananas, apples, no seeds. I usually cut a side off of the apple, cut that in half, and they get that, and that's all they get. So if it has to do with a fruit, just a small piece once a week, because you don't want to give them too high in sugar. So yeah, those are the list of things you can feed. That is a long list of things you can feed, and with that list, there should be no reason why you even bother with the don'ts. It is good to know what the don'ts are. Just, you know, if you're at the store and you go, I wonder if they can eat this, it's good to know whether you can or can't. Just keep your mind on the list of cans. You don't necessarily have to memorize the list of can'ts, because as long as you are aware of what they can eat, just stick to those. Ignore anything else as a possibility. That is the safest bet. That's what I do, because again, I actually, in order to even make this video, I made sure I looked it up and got a list of the don'ts and got a list of the cans, just so that I could do the video. But it is hard to remember sometimes what can and can't be fed. I worry about what I know they can eat, and I don't even give them everything on the can list. I know that there are certain things they can eat. Those are the things they get. I don't even bother with anything else. If I'm curious about it, I look it up. So that's the best thing that you can do, just to ensure that you have a healthy bunny. So I think that's about it. If you have any questions, put them down below in the comments and I will do my best to answer. And yeah, I think that is about it. And now I will put up a clip of my bunnies for you. Have a great day, guys. Bye.